Hi, and welcome to episode 113 of M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers podcast. This is a video podcast mostly about knitting and the fiber arts, sprinkled with a little this, that, and the third amongst the fiber arts things where I talk about my makes and yarn that I'm dyeing, that sort of thing. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jamie. I'm the yarn dyer behind m1yarns.com, and I'm coming to you today from Metro Detroit, Michigan, where I am a yarn dyer. And so usually I say at the beginning of my last few episodes that I'm going to try to record this without editing too much. I feel like I jinx myself every time, but I'm feeling good vibes. Despite the fact that it is really cold out, it's been cold out for weeks. The dogs are a little stir crazy. They haven't been walked in weeks. I'm probably like getting to that mental state of late January where the days are getting longer, but the cold is getting like enough. And we've had a lot of snow here in Michigan this year. So I am trying to lean into, the fiber arts to kind of remedy that and not get too, down about the winter blues and that sort of thing. So if you're here for some fun fiber arts chat, by all means, grab yourself a warm beverage, perhaps, and your knitting or crochet project. And let's dive right in. And I'm going to try to knit while no, I'm not on this. Absolutely not, because I'm on a every row is something different situation on this. But I wanted to talk about this. Last episode, I had not even swatched for this, but I did share the yarn. This yarn is by a local mini mill called Coyote Run. And I should have taken a photo of the yarn beforehand. I'll see if I can dig one up that maybe I took when I got the yarn. But I dyed this. Maybe I should show you the ball. Here's the ball. I want it to focus a little better. It's kind of blowing out. That's probably like closer to true color, at least how it looks for me on the screen. I have a white ring light here, and then I have warm lighting tripod things here, like that. And so you kind of get a mix of like warms and cools. And apparently it's just hard to get the right color here. But anyway, I dyed this. This is a soon to be released new colorway in my shop. And not the yarn, just the color. This yarn was made just for me. I gauge swatched last week. While I'm telling you about this, I'm looking for something. I think I had shared this, if not the last episode, the episode before. No, I think it was the last episode. I bought these amazing buttons from a lady named Lisa Peters Art. Her brand is Buttons by Lisa Peters Art. Her name is Lisa Peters. No surprise there. These are like clay. And I found these at Rhinebeck last year. She's going to be a vendor at Fresh Coast Fiber Festival in May, which if you didn't know, I'm the event organizer. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the festival probably towards the end. So if you're interested in that, stick around. But I bought a bunch of buttons from her because they were perfect. They were turquoise, like the Fresh Coast logo, and they were cherry, like Traverse City, Michigan, where the festival is known for. Traverse City is the cherry capital of the world. When I saw the buttons, I knew I needed a cardigan with those buttons on it. And I thought that this deep red, see, I can't wear all reds because of my complexion. It's got to be like a warm red. This would be perfect. So this is the Eva Cardigan by PetiteKnit, and I got my iPad here so I can kind of show you without giving too much away. I'm not going to show you the pattern, but this is the Eva Cardigan by PetiteKnit. It is knit flat, which is not usually my cup of tea, but I love the V-neck nature of the cardigan. I got gauge the first time I gauge swatched last week. And as if you've been around for a while, you know I don't love gauge swatching. I used to think it was a waste of time, and then I had a few tragedies where, you know, I should have gauge swatched like a good girl. So now I gauge swatched like a good girl, and I got gauge on the first try. So after I knit my little swatch, I cast this on. If I could hold it the right way, that would probably make more sense. I cast this on, I want to say last Friday night, and you know, it's going swimmingly. I'm really loving it. So, Daisy, can you lay down, girlfriend? So I don't have to edit out all your huffy puffy kicking the tripod shenanigans. Come on, go lay down. Sorry, guys. Yes. That will be an ongoing project through May when the festival is, unless I just can't put it down, which so far I can't put it down. But I do have other things that I'm trying to finish and start and all that jazz. And I think last time I talked about how I don't love to be a monogamous knitter, but I do like to make quick Daisy, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. I do like to make quick progress on my projects. So being a monogamous knitter does help make, you know, you get through the project faster because you're not back and forth. But that being said, I also have made progress on my Himalayan pullover. This is going to get like a V-neck. I should just show you the photo, right? I'll show you this and then I'll show you the photo. So it's all like 2x2 rib. You knit the back first, and then you pick up here, and then you join in the round, knit the body, and that's where I'm at now, is the beautiful knit the body moment. This yarn is coming to my shop very soon, and here is what the pattern sample looks like. Very classic. This yarn is alpaca and cotton. So kind of like you could probably wear it through spring, you know, as like a layering piece. So now that I'm on the body in the round part, I think it'll really start to fly. And then all I have to do is pick up the neck, knit the turtleneck, and then there's some sort of like detail done around the armholes. So that is the Himalayan pullover. Himalaya. Yeah, Himalaya pullover. So those are the two like active whips I have going on, but I really want to cast on a spring tee that will be a shop sample. I'll tell you more about that next episode. And I really want to cast on a hat. I think because it's a really harsh winter here, I'm getting a lot of use of a lot of my knitted hats. And although I've knit hats for the shop, for samples and whatnot, you know, almost every winter for the last 6-7 years, I feel like I want to knit something that's just for me, if that makes any sense. And I had bought this skein of Primrose Yarn Co. Homestead Sport, which is a 2-ply sport weight. I bought this at New York Sheep and Wool last October, and absolutely love the color. Actually, the red kind of looks like the cardigan that I just showed you that I dyed. Um, I really love this. And I only bought one skein. Who knows why? What was I thinking? That was foolishness. Painted Desert is the colorway, by the way. I've been looking on her website for a couple months for another skein of this without success, which is fine. Like, I get it. So I've been thinking, what can I knit with just one skein? And I thought a hat, maybe like a color work hat, where I could pair it with some, since this is sport weight, maybe I could pair it with some leftover sport weight yarn in my stash. And this is baby alpaca. So I thought that was kind of cute together. I'm thinking. And that could be a quick, fun project. So that might go on the needles this weekend. We shall see. That yarn, by the way, that baby alpaca, that is the yarn in this new kit, which just dropped in the shop. This is the Artus shawl. I think I might have talked to you about this when I was working on building the kits and it was not yet released. I might have teased it. But this is now available. I'm trying to get the whole thing in the picture. Oh, it feels so amazing. Like literally buttery soft. I like to wear shawls like this style. So you kind of get like that cozy, where you get like a V-neck, not V, like not V-neck, like a V, which for us short people is very lengthening. I have thought that this would be nice, like sitting at your computer, you know, keeping your shoulders cozy, that sort of thing. But yeah, that was this yarn. These kits, like I said, are now in the shop. And let me just show you, if I may, a few of the kit color combos, because these are really fun. I really enjoyed, sorry about all the crinkling, stand by. I really enjoyed putting together these kits, and if you don't mind looking at them through the plastic, I'll show you some of the color combos. Love that, with that little pop of magenta. We've got some a nice cool palette. Let's see. I think that's the same as the other one I showed you. Very classic. So yeah. Oh, this one's fun. So we've got some warm options and some cool options, depending on what you like. But the pattern is my gift to you with purchase of the shawl. And like I said, this is sport weight. So it's nice and transitional, you know, nothing too heavy, nothing too light. And yeah, love the design. Since it's kind of geometric, I feel like it's easy to style with outfits, you know. Anyway, that's that. What else? One project that I want to get to, but might have to get put on hold until maybe the summer to wear in the fall. This sweater really feels cursed, but this is the what's it called? My brain just went blank. Stand by. This was a project that I cast on last year, like a year ago. I did not rotate the skein, so I'm just going to keep talking to you while I'm looking for this. So I'll tell you what it is in a second. Flax worsted. I did not rotate the skeins and paid for it because I was getting color pooling. Then I ripped it out like a little bit past this neck ribbing and then restarted, and then I realized I wasn't increasing correctly. Like sometimes here I was increasing but not here, too much here, it was all off. So I ripped back again to the neckband and need to get back going, but I have so many other things right now. I think I'll just put this back in timeout, which we all have a timeout, right? It doesn't matter. It's fine. It'll get knit eventually or not. So yeah, I am busy getting yarn dyed for festival season, which for me starts in 8 weeks. My first show of the year is going to be the Ann Arbor Fiber Expo. Last year I vended in early March at a show in Jay County, Indiana, and I have decided not to vend at that show this year, simply because I'm focusing a lot of my bandwidth on organizing the Fresh Coast Fiber Festival, which, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be in Traverse City, Michigan, and I'm the organizer, event planner, all of it. That's going to be at the very end of May, May 30th and 31st, if you're interested. It is shaping up to be fantastic. Like, so many vendors. I think we have vendors coming from 12 or 13 different states. So that's exciting. Many of these vendors have never vended at a Michigan-based fiber festival before. So I'm really thrilled to be pulling that together and creating a platform for the fiber community to come together. And in this day and age, I think community is more important than ever. So back to my festival season and shows that I'm vending at. So my first show is Ann Arbor at the very end of March. And then 2 weeks later, I'll be in Chicago again for YarnCon. So if you're from the Chicagoland area, I hope to see you there. I had so much fun vending at that show last year. So I'm really excited to be back again. And I will have lots of fun new kits and samples and yarn bases and all that jazz. So that's what I've been primarily focusing on lately. This tea is so good. But as it relates to the Fresh Coast Fiber Festival, I do want to give you a little update on that. And I just realized I never told you what I'm wearing, and you've probably been waiting all episode for it. This is the Pixelated Cardi by Knit Collage. The pink is my hand-dyed yarn in the colorway Pink Power. And this like multicolored situation is hand-dyed. I did have I have the ball, but it's out of reach. Never mind. Hand-dyed, hand-spun by a lady I met in New York at Rhinebeck. I think she was vending at Indian Tangled. That's where I got this. And I want to say her brand is something like Sandhill Crane. That can't be right. Oh, do you mind? I'll look it up while we're chit-chatting about something else. I will tell you what it is, but meantime. Oh, Sandpiper Yarns. Yes, Sandpiper Yarns. So this is a pattern that you get when you sign up for Knit Collage's knit alongs, you get like a lot of their pattern library, which is amazing. And this is one of my favorite Knit Collage patterns ever. I would knit this pattern again. And as I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, I would definitely knit this again. Gotta think on that more. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about Fresh Coast Fiber Festival for just a quick second. So if you don't already, if you have not gone on the website, please go to freshcoastfiberfestival.com. At the very bottom of the homepage, and I think every other page, there is a newsletter sign up. I have yet to send out any newsletters. It's too early, but we're getting there. We're getting close. I'm going to start sending newsletters. But now is the time to subscribe to the newsletter. I promise I won't send you a ton of email, but you want to sign up now so that you don't miss any of the emails that will come down the pipe later on, leading up to the May festival. So soon I will be announcing a big announcement that you won't want to miss. But I'm still ironing out a few things, so I can't tell you it yet. But one thing I did want to share on here, and I'm going to post it to Instagram as well, but a lot of people had been asking for many months if there would be workshops at this festival. And I had said, you know, to be determined, because a lot of things. You got to have a space, you got to have instructors, you got to create a curriculum, you know, like a catalog of offerings of the classes and all that stuff. And in my heart, if I can just be honest with you, my friends, that project was detracting from the main project of organizing the festival. And I did not want to get to the festival weekend and have myself stretched too thin, at least year one. So I kept kind of like putting it on the back burner, seeing if it would fall into place. And it could easily fall into place. I've had some amazing people step up and show interest in being in teaching workshops. I've had many people interested in taking workshops, and all of that means so much to me. And I just want to, you know, let you know that I appreciate how everyone has worked to, you know, make this a success in their own way. And a big part of the like, what am I going to do equation was finding a space to have the workshops. The venue where the festival will be at is a civic center and will be in the ice arena building. But don't worry, the ice will be ripped out for the spring and summer. And so it'll be hardwood floors, and just like one big indoor, well lit box, you know, air conditioning, heating, clean bathrooms, all that stuff. But because it's an arena and there's no like separate classrooms outside that main arena space, I knew I needed an offsite space for any workshops. And I had looked at a few options. Basically, it didn't pan out, and I'll save you all the, you know, the nitty gritty. But I've made the executive decision that at least this year there will not be workshops, and I'm pretty heartbroken about that because I wanted to offer that for those who are interested. But I hope that if you were hoping to teach or take a workshop, that you'll understand that this is the first year for me of planning this festival. My main focus is the 2-day vending experience, and I really want that to go perfectly. So far, things have come together really well, and I'm really pleased. And so maybe next year there will be workshops. Anyway, my dog is outside barking. Now the other dog kicked the tripod. Sorry about that. I don't know why Jack is barking. but maybe that's my cue to wrap up. I think that's all I got for you anyway. So I hope that you are staying warm and safe, and that you are doing your part in your local community to stand up for your community. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm pretty outspoken about my anger with what's happening in America right now. And I don't shy away from that. That's not politics, that's values. And that's based in my love of community and humanity. And there is so much that each of us can do, whether it's knitting a red hat, calling your senators, calling, hotel chains and telling them not to house ICE, and calling Enterprise and telling them not to rent vehicles to ICE. Things like that. We all can do our part to make America great, maybe for the first time. And if that rubs you the wrong way, I'll just say this. I'll say two things. Number one, I do welcome respectful dialogue. That's fine. If you are struggling to understand why people are upset about what's going on, I'd be more than willing to share with you my experience, my thoughts, and I will do so in a loving, respectful way, as long as you do too. So if you're ever like, "Hey, Jamie, I don't get it. I just don't get it." Come talk to me. That's fine. And number two, before you come at me saying I try to avoid politics, we're way past that. First off, politics is everything. Politics is why the roads are paved, the schools are open, the street lights are on. Politics are why we women have the right to vote, why we have the right to free speech, and so many other things. And politics is our daily life. So anyone who says, just stick to the knitting, or I don't get involved in politics, you do. You just don't want to talk about the politics that make you uncomfortable, or that you think don't affect you. And I would just ask that before you comment negatively, rudely, aggressively, argumentatively, all of that, just pause and think about why this is upsetting you. Really, really why. So I know that we're all really struggling with the depth of winter and the depth of what 2026 is already. And so I just want to send each of you love and hugs and encouraging words. And I think that's what this platform has always been about for me, is community and keeping things as real as possible in a constructive way. So I'm going to wrap that up because I think I'm rambling now. But thanks for joining me. Until next time, happy knitting, happy crochet, happy spinning.